Sure, bargains. Well, I don't think there's many bargains in there at the moment.
It looks like this. Nothing's been done with it since Hart's closed down. It's a little bit dodge on this part of Lytham Road, yeah.
You'd be lucky to walk up there and get past one block without bumping into a beer monster.
It's looking pretty closed up, folks.
There is an actual boat in here. Look at that.
You see that place there? Oh, almost got absolutely shat on by a bloody seagull then. Oh my God, there's a seagull eating a bird. I can't believe it.
It's like the world's coming to an end on Bond Street, folks.
Is that like a Turkish barber's? Even that's shut down, look. Welcome to another video on Walk on the Wild Side, and I'm here in the South Shore area of Blackpool. I'm actually on Waterloo Road at the moment, and I thought I'd take a little look around this area. I've not been around here for a while, and I want to end up on a street that's got a little bit run down in the last couple of years. It's called Bond Street. Yeah, it's a good while since I've been there. Is it still a bit rough? Yeah, so I'm here on Waterloo Road looking towards the ambulance station there, centre of the frame. This is Farm Foods, used to be an Aldi that. And they changed it to Farm Foods, yeah. So I'm walking up Waterloo Road, heading towards Bond Street. It's a good while since I've been there, and it's a bit post-apocalyptic, I have to say, Bond Street. And I thought I'd have a little walk down there, and we'll see what's changed since I've last been there. It must have been, I don't know, a couple of years since I was there. So I'm making my way up over the bridge. This used to go over the railway line, of course, that used to go into Central Station. Let's have a little look over here and see what we can see. You can see the sun's going down over there, look. And there's a view of the tower, looking down Seasiders Way towards the football ground. And this would have taken the railway into Central Station before it closed in about the mid-60s, something like that. You see those climbing frames over there? I have never, ever seen anyone climb on those, ever. Anyway, onwards. So just over the road here is where South Station used to be. The railway station, yeah. I do remember it. It's a massive building. And they also used to have a model railway in there, yeah. Long gone, I'm afraid. And if we look just at the other side, there's a building, a little building, blue. Looks quite ornate. Those used to be toilets. That blue building over there, public toilets. Yeah. So we're just about to head past the old theatre here, the Apollo. There used to be a bingo hall. My mum used to play bingo here. Yeah, it was called the Palladium when she used to go. Yeah, so this used to be the Palladium Bingo. The building is now owned by Howard Plant. He's quite a well-known businessman in Blackpool. He owns a lot of car parks. Just over the road is Ford's sale rooms. They've been there for decades. They're still going. Ford's sale rooms, yeah. We're just about to head past the Royal Oak. That's the Royal Oak there for you, on the corner of Lytham Road. Straight ahead is Waterloo Road, heading straight down to the promenade, and also Notre Dame is down there as well. But we're now just crossing Lytham Road, and yeah, Lytham Road has seen better days as well. It's a little bit dodge on this part of Lytham Road, yeah. It has definitely seen better days. I'll tell you what, you'd be lucky to walk up there and get past one block without bumping into a beer monster or something like that. But anyway, we're heading this way down Waterloo Road towards Bond Street. Recognise any shops from the olden days? Still got the opticians here. There's the opticians. Used to be That optician's used to be called Leeson. It's changed hands now, but it's still an optician's. And yeah, Waterloo Road as well. It's, well, I used to remember coming down here back in the olden days, shopping. It's fallen on hard times, I'm afraid. European Superstore, Premier Carpets, and I actually bought a rug from that place and it is really good. Can't fault it at all. But yeah, Waterloo Road itself is, I remember when it was thriving round here. They've tried to get it going, they've redone the road. They actually put sets down, but they had to dig all the sets up because they completely just, oh, they just fell to bits. That's a new place, Pepe's. Pepe's Piri Piri. Used to be a bank, of course. It was a souvenir shop last. I don't remember it when it was a bank. And by the way, just across the road there's a new market. Well, what was the new market? That used to be the new market in that building there, that quite swanky looking tiled building. Next to that we've got the Crafty Bear. Check out the Crafty Bear if you're coming down this way. The Crafty Bear micro pub there. It's banging in there. But we're heading straight up this way, past the old post office here. This is the main post office. Look at that there, look at that grand entrance. It's pretty much empty, but there is a gym, I believe, on the second floor. And now we're just about to go past another pub before we get to Bond Street, and this one's called the Bull. A little street down the side there, look, a little hidden street down the side. Hope you can't hear that music, otherwise it's going to be playing with my copyright, yeah. But anyway, it's pretty popular inside the Bull, but we're just coming up to Bond Street now, just going past these amusements now. And Notre Dame's is just up there. Let's have a little look this way. Now this road here is called Bolton Street, and that pretty much runs all the way along, parallel with the promenade, all the way, pretty much to Manchester Square. We're not going that way though. We're going to head this way. Folks, we're looking towards the old Woolworths store, this. You see this building here? Again, this is another building owned by Howard Plant, the same guy that owns the theatre back there, the old bingo. And this has been in a bit of, well, state of ruin for a long time. He wants to turn it into a car park, but there's a bit of a dispute with the council, so what's going to happen with it? Well, at the moment it looks like this. It's a bit of a sorry state, isn't it? And I remember when this was Woolworths, yeah, and now look at it. It's been like this now, well, nothing's been done with it since Hart's closed down, and they used to sell Christmas decorations all year round, and this is how Bond Street looks now, I'm afraid, today. There are a few shops here from the olden days. This looks like an old one. Tailors, like Western denim, that sort of thing in there. But there's not many. If you look across the road there, there's an old fish and chip shop there. Antiques. It's looking pretty closed up, folks. We've got an alley here called Fraser Grove. And they've got a very nice mural there, actually. I think that alleyway might come round to Waterloo Road. What do you think? I think it meets up with that street we were looking at before. But we'll take a look over here. There's a nice building over here, and this is the Emporium. It's called Mrs. Johnson's Emporium. Look at this building, folks. Still going. I remember we used to come in here years ago. It was like an arcade. Yeah, we used to go through there. There used to be all sorts of stuff in there, like little outlets. It's a lovely building. So here's a little look that where I've just come from, I started down there, and here's a look over the road. We've got this place here called iCollectibles. What do you think, folks? Looks like a good shop. Collectors, little models, ornaments, that sort of thing. Memorabilia. Okay, let's carry on, shall we? Okay, we're now up to a pub called The Last Resort, and yeah, it's quite well titled, that, isn't it? The Last Resort. I'll tell you what, it's banging in there. Here's a look down this way. This road is called Waterloo Street, and that takes you straight to the promenade. So we're going to head this way. Well, that building over there was a famous building, a famous business down Bond Street. It's called Bond Street Fabrics, right here. This building here, Bond Street Fabrics, yeah. And if you look over the road, well, devastation, I'm afraid. You know what? I can't believe it. There's a boat over there. Look at this. Oh my God. There is an actual boat in here. Look at that. Oh my God. This building literally fell down a couple of years ago, and it was left and left. Nothing was done with it. They ended up putting all this fencing around it, and now they've knocked it down, and there's a boat in there. I can't believe it. You see that place there? Oh, almost got absolutely shat on by a bloody seagull then. Oh my God, there's a seagull eating a bird. I can't believe it. It's like the world's coming to an end on Bond Street, folks. That place over there, Beds and Mattresses, looks like an old cinema, doesn't it? Like a really old sort of small cinema type thing. Even the barbers, wow, is that like a Turkish barbers? Even that's shut down, look. Wowzers. I'll tell you what, that was a close call back there with that seagull. I think it was a bit upset. I think maybe they had some young there and they were trying to protect them, but oh my goodness, look at this, folks. Devastation. You can even see the old ornate wood carving. Look at that up there, that is amazing. Wowzers. Now, these shops haven't had any kind of business going in them for ages. Look at this, the Cottingley Ferry. And you know what, there's a shop just around here. I don't know if it's this one or the one next door. They used to have a machine that you could put money in through the window, and like a dragon or a sea serpent would come up. It might have been this one here, folks. What do you think? Do you remember that? Does anybody remember that? Yeah, it was one of these shops here. Look at this, South Shore Bargains. Well, I don't think there's many bargains in there at the moment. I wonder if anyone lives in there. Wow, yeah, so it's one of those shops there, folks, yeah, that they had the machine. And, right. Okay, here's a recap. So here's a look over the road. We've got our Bucky's over there, William Hill. Bond Street Bistro, closed down. Americano Pizza, closed down. The Bond Street Chippy, that's still going, folks, yeah. And as we now come up to Dean Street, now this is actually the border, folks, with South Shore. This is the official border between central Blackpool, believe it or not, and South Shore, Dean Street. And we've got this church here, it's called the Holy Trinity. A friend of mine got married in there. So here's a little look around. I think there was someone calling me there, but anyway, we're now heading towards Station Road. God, I actually missed the Jade Palace back there. The Jade Palace Chinese. Sorry I missed it, but we've got another one here called the Golden Palace. Look. Is there a bit more hope at this side? Cafe Rendezvous. We've got this souvenir shop on the corner, like a joke shop. Souvenirs. Is there more hope at this side of Bond Street? Because just over the road here, I just want to show you this. These are the South Pier apartments. It used to be the old Jupil Club. Yeah, the Jupil Club, that was... Does anybody remember the Jupil Club? Well, someone has done it all up and they've turned it into like quite fancy apartments. I bet they're not cheap. They've got some businesses on the bottom. They've got Sally's breakfast there, Viking Laundry. Another shop over there called Bits and Bobs. If we go down here, there's a building called Centenary House. I remember that was the AUEW back in the olden days, and we actually rented a room in there for karate. Yeah, we used to do like karate, kung fu, when that was called the AUEW. I think it was the Amalgamated Union of Engineering Workers. So I'm now on Station Road. Just next to me is a car park. Again, this car park is owned by Howard Plan. It owns almost everything around here. Electric charging points, but they're only for taxis. So if I head down here, get straight to South Pier. So let's have a little look back down where we came from. And now, not finished yet, because I want to show you something up here. Got a shop on the corner there which looks closed. It was a bargain shop. And next to that we've got another place being opened the other week. And they had all sorts of weird stuff in there. This building here, this white one. We've got a National Tyres centre, but I think it might have closed down because they've taken all the signage off. I wonder. I just think, you know, these tyre places and the exhaust places, they always seem to see them in dodgy areas, don't you? This garage is now closed, but don't worry, your closest garage is, let's say, I bet it's Dixon Road. It is Dixon Road. And if you've watched a few of my videos, you'll know what Dixon Road's like. It's a little bit dodgy. But anyway, I want to end here, folks, with a bit of promise for you, because here we have one of the finest chip shops, restaurants, fish and chip restaurants in Blackpool. It's Bentleys. Bentleys Fish and Chips right here, folks. I went there with the Map Master. I think we gave it something like a 9 out of 10 or something like that. But there you go, folks. We're ending on a bit of a high note at Bentleys Fish and Chip Cafe there. So that was Bond Street, folks. Bloody noisy motorbikes there. Anyway, that was my return to Bond Street after what seems like the best part of a couple of years, folks. And what do you think? You'll have to have a look at my previous videos of Bond Street and let me know if you think it's changed a whole lot. Is it heading in the right direction? Well, I'm not so sure myself. Let me know what you think. Anyway, I hope you like this video. If you do, hit the like button and also hit subscribe and tick the bell for notifications of new videos. And I'll see you again on the next one.